Hey loves, welcome. Today we're going to be doing a no foundation makeup look. So I'm spraying my face with my hydrating setting mist and I'm patting it in. Then I'm also going in with my lip oil to moisturize and hydrate my lip. I'm going to be going in next with my concealers because we're not using foundation. I'm going to be using two shades in Chestnut and Toffee. I'll use the Chestnut to conceal any dark circles or dark areas I have. And I'll be going in with Toffee to highlight. So because we're not using a foundation, I'm using a generous amount of concealer and just applying it on the areas I will normally highlight. Then I'm going with two darker shades to bronze and contour my face. So I'm going with a little bit of the darkest shade because I don't want it to be too dark. I don't want the contour to be too dark. Then I'm going in with more of the more brownish and bronzy shade on my cheekbones, on the size of my nose. I'm also going to be applying on my forehead, the size of my forehead, and also a little bit below the jawline. And then to make it easier to blend, I'm going to be setting my face with a setting spray and using a brush. I'm going to first start with the lower part of my face and just blending it in. I'm going to be tapping it and blending it in little by little. And I'm tapping it in lightly, so I'm not using too much pressure, too much force. I'm just tapping it in. So now I'm going to be blending on my cupid's bow, my chin, my forehead, and also the bridge of my nose. Now I'm going to be blending in the areas that I bronzed and contoured. So I'm going at the size of my forehead. Then I'm also going to be going on my cheekbones. So I'm just going to be blending it in. So I'm using the same brush because I want everything to be seamless and even. Then next, I'm going to be blending in the highlighted areas under my eyes. So I'm going to be doing it little by little and taking it one step at a time. And when blending in your concealer, you want to ensure that you are taking it little by little. You are blending it out, feathering it out, making it seamless so that there are no harsh lines. So you can see I'm taking my time to really blend it out, winging it out to give my face that lift and snatched look. So my face is looking high and not droopy. So now I'm blending everything out. Then I'm also going to be blending out that inner corner to make sure everything blends out seamlessly. Now I'm just ensuring that every area is blended out. There's no harsh lines of the contoured area and the highlighted area. Now I'm going to be setting in the highlighted areas with a powder and a powder puff. So I'm lightly pressing the powder into my skin to give it that seamless look. Now I'm going in with bronzy shades to contour and bronze my nose. So I'm using a more penciled brush to give me that clean and defined look. Taking an angled brush, I'm going to be blending and setting the areas I bronzed and contoured. So I'm also blending out my forehead and everywhere that I basically bronzed and contoured and ensuring that everything blends seamlessly. Now for brows, I'm going to be going with my brow gel. I'm going to be brushing my brow hairs upwards to give it that lifted brow look. Then I'm going to start by outlining the lower part of my brows gently. Then I'm also going to be outlining the upper part of the brows. So when using a brow gel, you want to ensure that you're using an angle brush that is well defined so you get that sharp, clean look. Now I'm going to be filling in the sparse areas with the brow gel. I'm not going to be using it too heavy. I'm going to be very light-handed with it to give me that clean and feathered brows. After concealing, I'm going to be setting my eyelids with my powder so that I can get it prepped for eyeshadow. So for my eyeshadow, I'm going to be taking a light brown shade and use it as my transition shade. So I'm going to be lightly blending it out and feathering it in. Then I'm also going to be taking a darker brown shade to also blend out the light brown shade that I use. So that's going to act as my transition / darkening shade. Then I'm also going to take another deep brown shade, which is going to give the eye look that depth. So I'm basically going to be going back and forth with the dark shade and the transition shade till I get a clean, nice, smooth blend. Going in with my creamy beige Elegant Pro concealer, I'm going to use it as a base for the eyeshadow which I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be doing kind of like a slash cut crease kind of base eye look. So I'm going to be using it as my base. After applying the concealer, I'm going to now use a peachy shade to set the eyes, and I'm going to be blending it out and lightly ensuring that everything is well blended and seamless. Now I'm going in with the darker shade to blend out the edges and ensure that everything is feathered out and blended in seamlessly together. Using a felt tip eyeliner, I'm going to be lining my eyes and drawing a wing. For false lashes, I'm going to be using this lash pack. I'm going to be using the smaller one. But first, I'm going to be using my spoolie to slightly curl my lashes upwards. Then I'm going to be using my lash glue and just popping on the lashes straight on. I'm taking my time to ensure that the lashes is placed well so it doesn't move or budge. Going with my classic Colossal Kaja, I'm going to be lining my waterline to give me that smoky eye look. To blend it out, I'm going to be using my eyeshadow brush and I'm going to be using the brown shade to just blend out the waterline. Taking my powder brush, I'm going to be blending out any fallouts from the eyeshadow and just setting the rest of my face with my powder. Taking my CPD blush palette, I'm going to be going with these 2 shades and apply my blush with that same angle brush I use for contouring. For lipsticks, I was going to use this lipstick that I first applied, these 3 lipsticks that I first applied, but the lipstick didn't turn out the way I thought it would. In my head, I was like, this lipstick is going to give me a look which I'm going for. But after applying it, the lipstick was just looking so off from what I imagined in my head. So I just quickly wiped it off after applying it because it was just looking too much. I just felt like the lipstick was just giving me like a contrast with the eye look. It wasn't just blending in the way I wanted it to blend. Like, it wasn't just seamless. It wasn't looking even. It wasn't looking put together. So I wiped it off after applying it because I was just like, man, I don't like this lipstick today. I just don't like it. So if you see me here trying to make the lipstick work, I applied the dark shade and also applied the orange shade and trying to blend everything together, blend it out, but I just wasn't feeling it. I felt like maybe I wouldn't have used the orange. Maybe I would have just gone with a nude shade and the brown shade or the burgundy shade. And that would have given me what I wanted. But I think the orange just made it look too much. And even after applying gloss, it didn't work. So you can see me here wiping it off. Then I'm going with a brown liner to line my lips. So a brown lip liner to line my lips and just define it. So now I'm going in with that same nude shade from the first 3 lipsticks. So I'm going with the nude shade and I'm just going to blend it. And I'm also going to be using this gloss to top it off. I applied some eyeshadow on my inner corner. Then I'm going in with my mascara to further define my lower lashes. So I'm done with the makeup look and now I'm just brushing my hair downwards and just adding some finishing touches to my hair. And yeah, this is the finished look, guys. I really enjoyed creating this new foundation makeup look. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below what videos you want to see next and if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!